Welcome in.
I don't know what that was.
We've been off for a couple weeks for the holidays.
But
This
we're
is totally
back.
not biased.
We're back.
A very tired, sleepy, bedheaded Brennan. Let's get into it. I'm Jacob, hosting today, episode 16. I think this is a 2-episode streak of not having 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really fucking sucks.
Yeah, we need to switch our name from Totally Not Biased to Totally Not Here.
That I made that joke, and you know what? It's not a joke anymore. All right, so we're gonna get into 4 fantastic segments. First, we're gonna start off with the college football playoff. Gonna talk about what was it? Son of a bitch. The first round, the semi-championship, the semifinals.
Final Four.
Final 4. Then we're going to hop into our NFC and AFC playoff prediction, outlook, preview, and predictions for the Wildcard Round.
Yeah.
Going to get into all that. And we're going to talk about the NFL awards. Finally getting into the end of the season, Week 18 this week. We're not going to really be able to talk about, our recap, our usual recap, just because we've been off for a couple weeks now. But we are going to get into kind of the odds, how they lay out, and what we expect is going to happen and what we think should happen.
Yes.
But, Brendan, if you want to kick it off, let's talk a little bit about – let's do the 3-2. Let's do Michigan TCU and Michigan.
So, my
Got
prediction.
the Fiesta Bowl, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
Yes.
Remember when it was Tostitos?
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
I do. So, my prediction was Michigan will win by 30-plus points. TCU won this game. So, I've never been more wrong.
Well, I mean, I think you were on the same page with most of everybody that was, covering the game, going into the game, had an expectation for the game. TCU to me, they've just got the offense to back up, a pretty rowdy bunch. I mean, they've got a pretty good quarterback. But to me, Michigan, they have a lot more depth and talent that's going to end up in the NFL. So I was like very confused on why this should happen.
Yeah. Michigan played sloppy, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially just looking back on that final play.
Yeah.
Fumbled it, 4th down. You have a chance to. Where were they? I think they were midfield is where I think they were.
Yeah.
4th down, and you just fumble the snap. Don't even give anyone a chance to make that position.
It was very bad. The thing is that there was a little bit of poor officiating. I don't know. There was a touchdown that was blatantly just not ruled a touchdown.
Yeah.
Ass cheek was on the in the end zone.
Oh yeah, and then they fumbled that one, didn't they?
Yeah, they fumbled that one as well. So they had a couple turnovers that were very costly.
Yeah. Yeah, I only watched the second half of this game.
TCU getting up early the way they did, and then Michigan clawing their way back. I mean, it was the second half. TCU scored 30, but Michigan was able to come back from down 21-6 at half.
Yeah. And
made a comeback, but couldn't get it over the edge. They never took the lead after they were down as far as they were.
Yeah.
Because it started at what? It was 7-0, 14-0, 14-3, 21-3, 21-6. Very poor first half. And then it just seemed like J.J. McCarthy was kind of out there balling, trying to get anything to work. And I don't know. Both teams were able to run the ball pretty well too. This guy from TCU though, Quentin Johnson. I think he may be a first rounder. He's really fucking good. He was 22nd in yards in the nation. He had 1,066, 6 touchdowns. But he's 6'4", 215, the leading receiver on a potential national championship TCU team. I don't know. He just looks really athletic, great hands. He was able to go off in this game. He had 6 receptions, 163 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
You expect that from one of your best players, but he was the best receiver on the field.
Yeah. Do you think that Max if he wins the national championship, he'll get bumped into like that first round pick.
I'm gonna go look at.
Because he's a senior. Because that's what I just looked. Because I didn't even know he was really declaring.
His numbers are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's consistent. The thing about it for me is, does his physical stature stand up against like the biases for GMs? I don't think so, because he's only 6'2". He's not really a big guy, but I mean, if you compare him to someone like Bryce Young is he's smaller. I think he's like 6 foot.
Yeah, but he's different.
Yeah. I don't know, like, he could be on the edge of the first round, I think. It just depends on who's there and needs a quarterback.
Yeah.
Or who's going to take a flyer on a quarterback that already has a quarterback, but they're older, or like they don't necessarily need a quarterback, and he can sit behind someone for a couple of years, have a 5-year deal. I don't know.
It's like, I don't know. It's weird. Because like right now, he's not even ranked the 4th best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, you got like Will Levis ahead of him.
And then obviously C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young.
Which, I mean, it's fair to have those guys ahead of him, I guess, because Will's like, 6'5".
He's huge.
He's huge. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think that a lot has come out just from this game. Like, Jim Harbaugh, like, fielding, like, he's just taking on a lot of offers from the NFL. I don't necessarily think he will take an offer. It just depends on what he's, willing to take, and
I wonder if he will.
if it's a good situation too. Like, I don't think the Broncos is a good situation, because if Russ isn't good next year and they have no means to be able to move on from him, then what is that? What kind of place does that put Jim in? That he like commits to the Broncos, then he can't do what he wants within the team.
Yeah,
I don't know. It'll take a lot.
The true story here
I've seen
is
it Colts. Like, the Colts could be in on Jim.
I can see that.
Jim Harbaugh. I don't know. There's a couple teams that need a coach, like, I don't know, even Carolina or New Orleans, maybe, if they could get a quarterback from somewhere.
Yeah. Biggest surprise for me from this game, though, is just that Michigan did it twice. Like, this was what the narrative this year was. Like, Michigan last year, they came into the playoffs, and they were just so happy to be there that they didn't even really prepare.
And they hadn't beaten Ohio State at all in Jim Harbaugh's tenure.
Yeah, and then this year was supposed to be like, it's different. We've been here before.
Yeah.
This is business. And then for them to lose again, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to see. I thought they were just going to take it. I mean, putting up 45 points is taking it serious, but I thought they would beat TCU.
Their defense has been so good all year, and that's where the expectation lies. Like, you got to be able to stop this team that's been pretty dominant in the Big 12, along with, playing some pretty good teams and taking them out. I mean, TCU's been proving all year that they're good enough, and I'm glad they made it into the tournament, because there was a lot of speculation on who's going to make it in.
Yeah,
I was
TCU
was undefeated going into the conference championship. They didn't have everybody, and they didn't play their best game, but they have one loss compared to, like, I don't
Alabama.
know, like UCLA, or not UCLA, but USC and teams like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
All right, real quick.
You're going back into it? Where was I? I don't even remember.
Talking about TCU. Defense.
Yeah. It's just like Michigan's bread and butter for the last couple of years has been their defense. Like, they've had, first round picks like David Ojabo. He's been drafted first, like, in the first round. I'm blanking on everybody else, but, like, I don't know. They've had consistent defensive players come into the NFL, and for this to happen where they're putting up 50 fucking points on Michigan, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But if you want, we can move on to the 4-1 matchup, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I feel bad about this one.
I said Ohio State was going to win this game. I was completely wrong, by the way, which is crazy.
You were,
and I said Ohio State was going to win the entire national championship.
Yeah, I mean, you were looking pretty good there for a minute.
Yeah, and just a kicker away. Can't blame C.J. Stroud. That man is balled out against the best defense in college football.
Yep.
23 for 34, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns.
My thing is that in the fourth quarter you couldn't score. You got a field goal.
Yeah.
You allowed 18 points in the fourth quarter after
Yes.
being up. What was it, 38 to 24 going into the fourth? You shut them out in the third. You couldn't finish it. That's rough.
Ohio State's defense, man. They have been
Yeah, they have been bad.
They've let their team down all
They got
year.
bled in that fucking Michigan game. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
there were so many times. That's the thing with Ohio State. They weren't getting, torched by teams that weren't as good as them.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play these teams that are as good as them, and they're clearly not able to hold up. Their defensive backs aren't great. But another guy, Stetson Bennett, you think he could be a first-round pick? He's a senior as well. He's 5'11". He's
also,
even smaller.
But he's older, too,
Yeah, but
which hurts him.
yeah. And I don't necessarily think like he had a lot of great receivers around him or anything, but like I don't know. I think Brock Bowers is a first-round talent at tight end. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple of guys on here that's like they're clearly good enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They're just so talented across the board. Their defense is phenomenal. I don't know. What do you got to say though? I am on board with the missed field goal. It's like what? How long was it? I don't even remember.
It wasn't crazy because
60. Wait, hold on.
No, let's see. I didn't think it was that long.
Missed field goal. Fuck. 50 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew it
That's
wasn't
bad.
it wasn't short, but it wasn't like crazy.
I mean, 50
Because
yards.
pretty
That's pretty. It's pretty doable for an NFL caliber kicker. So.
And just watching that final possession too, they just drove straight down. You saw CJ Stroud just run for that first down.
Yeah.
And then they ran out the clock, and then there it was, like the field goal. And I was like, they are going to make it. It's so like here it is, and it was right at the ball drop, pretty much. It was almost exactly at the same time, and it just wasn't even close.
It's so rough, especially for Ohio State fans. There could have been having some bragging rights over Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we lost to you all, but we made it to the fucking to the finals. So Ohio State hasn't been there since 2015 with Zeke, and who else is on that team? Fuck, who else is on that
I don't
team?
know. I mean, they've had some.
It was Dwayne Haskins, wasn't it? Was that Dwayne Haskins?
I don't know.
JT Barrett, maybe?
Maybe.
It's a long
But
time ago. 2015. That's
It just
7
sucks.
years ago.
For me, this just sucks because now we don't get to see another game of CJ Stroud.
True.
And we don't get to see another game of Marvin Harrison Jr., the two best players in college football. We could have gotten one more game of them.
We could have. I actually do think that because Marvin's coming back next year, obviously.
Yeah.
Who is their backup? Like who's
Quarterback?
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
He is talked about in high regards, but I don't know him.
I'm gonna go look. Is it Kyle McCord or Chad Ray? Because they're both sophomores. I don't know who's gonna start there. I don't know anything about them. You got Devin Brown and Mason Maggs as freshmen.
I am not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I just saw something that said Quinn Evers could end up here, but I do not think that's true. I think this is old. Yeah.
Quinn Evers.
He's Texas quarterback.
Oh. That would make sense. Like, is he in the portal?
No, their other quarterback went in the portal, so I think that was an older one.
I mean, that would make sense because they've got Archie coming in.
Yeah. But Archie's not going to start.
Well,
As
yeah,
freshman.
probably not as a true freshman unless he fucking balls out, which...
Yeah, Quinn
I mean,
Evers is going to start, and then more than likely Archie will start next year.
That'd be a good start for him. I think he's going to be a fucking star, but... Yeah, I guess we can move on from this segment. Unless you want to talk about the championship.
The championship, who do you got?
I don't see Georgia losing.
You don't see
I don't
Georgia.
want to pick against TCU because it seems like every time you do, you get burnt. But to me, it's just there's so many good players, like Heisman level, like top 5 pick type players on the team that I don't see it going much any other way. It's gonna be rough. They've just shut everybody. They've shut everybody down all year. If anybody's going to score a bunch of points on Georgia, it's going to be someone like Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I like TCU's offense, but
It's definitely not as good.
it's not as good as Ohio State's. I don't think. Oh God, I feel like the words coming out of my mouth are so wrong though.
Really?
It feels wrong.
It feels
I'm
like...
gonna take the no. You know what?
It feels like...
I think it's gonna be a 1-possession game.
Okay.
I don't think it gets out of hand. I do think Georgia wins though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna disrespect TCU. They've been good all
I
year.
have done nothing but disrespect TCU this year.
Yeah.
I want them to win. I'm now rooting for them. They've proved me
want 'em to
wrong. Georgia's my least favorite team in the playoffs.
They just don't have a lot of like great offensive like name brand players.
Yeah,
You know.
they don't have anyone like super, super cool other than like Jalen Carter might be a Bear next year, so that's cool.
Not if y'all get that first overall pick.
A lot of people have us trading, or a lot of people have the Bears drafting him over Will Anderson, which I don't
I
get.
don't know because like
I don't get it.
it's what you value more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you value your interior first, then out? Because it's like yeah. And does Will Anderson actually fit y'all's scheme as well as Jalen Carter would?
Yeah.
That's where like
Yeah.
those talks are definitely in the works.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll take Georgia. You want TCU?
I'll take TCU.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Just for the fun.
Anthony would take Georgia.
You should.
I mean they're the favorite. They've been the best
Yeah.
team all year. They've already won one title with this like similar team.
Yeah.
But I think they'll get it done. We are gonna move on to the playoffs, but I got blown my nose. What up, bitch?
And that.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. We're gonna move on. You want to do NFC or AFC first?
Let's go with.
Let's do AFC first because our favorite team's in the NFC.
Okay.
Even though the Bears have nothing to do with us.
What do you mean?
I feel real bad. We are going to talk about the Packers, though. We'll do the AFC playoff first. So, if you all didn't hear, I don't know how you haven't. In the Monday Night Football game in Week 17, there was a pretty tragic incident regarding Damar Hamlin and T. Higgins. There was a collision on, what was it, a return, I believe? I think it was like a punt return or something.
I don't know.
It was like a coverage. It was a coverage play for sure. And T. Higgins just lowers his shoulder. Damar Hamlin goes to make the tackle, gets up, and immediately faints and falls on the ground. They had shut down the game for like up to 10 minutes at this point. Nobody really knows what's going on. And after the fact, we've gotten the gory, gruesome details of what happened. He had to be given CPR on the fucking field, be defibrillated on the field, brought back to life essentially on the field, and essentially traumatized the entirety of both playing teams on the field.
Yeah.
With those circumstances, obviously the NFL had to make a decision. Decided to call the game a no contest, not the same as a draw because there was no play.
Yeah.
So this will go down as a game that just was essentially not played. He's doing well now. He's been FaceTiming everybody.
First thing he did as soon as he woke up.
Yep. He asked who won the game.
He said, "Did we win?"
See, that's the thing about this guy. Like, you can't, like, there's no way you can't root for him.
Yeah.
It's been just like a feel good story ever since he's been out of his like.
Yeah. And it's not T. Higgins' fault.
Not at all.
He does not deserve death threats that he's been getting and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of blame deflecting and accusation throwing and stuff. Dude, this is just like one of the freakiest injuries that's ever happened. Sure. It's out of nowhere. There's no fault to be had either way. When you play this game, you expect crazy shit to happen to your body. This is just one of those things. It's like I don't know if you saw the instance where like a guy got hit in the same area with a hockey puck in a hockey game and literally had the same shit happen.
Mm-mm.
Like no life in his face, gets CPR immediately.
Yeah. No,
this was back in like the 80s, I think. It's just some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Crazy shit that happens. It looks like a pretty brutal hit at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand how it could have happened. It was like really forceful, just straight to the chest, and it's like you can't do anything about that. But with the way that game ended, it set back the football aspects of the NFL, which wasn't necessarily at the forefront of everybody's mind. Nobody gave a fuck. We cared more about DeMar at the time. I did myself. Like, we just got to the point where we were talking about like what fantasy implications there are and shit. It's like, dude, it's just so
yeah. Now that he is better,
it's devastating
now
for the NFL. It's devastating for everybody in the moment. Like, who gives a? I know there are people out there that want to give a fuck about the implications that come from the sport, but we're just asking for the humanity first.
Yeah.
Let's make sure this guy's good before we decide to move on and just act like nothing happened. It happened. He's good now. He's safe. Hopefully, he can get back on the field if he wants to. I don't know if that'd be terrible. I don't know if I could do that. That'd be like you gotta have a big confidence about yourself to be able to go out and just do that again.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. But yeah. With all that being said, we know essentially how the AFC is gonna go. Basically, the way it's playing out is that because Buffalo and Cincinnati were both in position to be able to become the 1 seed, other than Kansas City, I believe. Like, if Kansas City had lost, which they didn't, they won their game.
Yes.
That puts Cincinnati in a position that where if they lose this game to the Ravens, they have a potential to be going on the road against the Ravens in the playoffs. They will still have won the division, but they will have to do a coin flip for home field advantage against the Ravens if they lose this week.
Yes.
With the Bills, any AFC championship appearance against the Chiefs or the Bengals will be a neutral site. Because the seeding has not been determined based out of play.
Yes.
So,
which I think is cool that they're trying to do something.
They're doing a good solution, I think.
Yes.
This is a way. I understand the Bengals fans where like they're kind of pissed off about the fact that they could end up on the road for the entirety of the playoffs, given that they never got the opportunity to actually win this game and make themselves a 1 seed. I get that, but it's like you got to take the circumstances into account. And the Bengals made it to the fucking Super Bowl on the road the entirety of the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
So it can't really be an excuse this time around because they won every single game to make it to the playoffs on the road or make it to the Super Bowl on the road. So except for the Wildcard Round because they won their division.
Yeah.
But moving forward, Brennan, we've got 3 teams that are fighting for that final spot.
Yes.
In the AFC.
So, New England is right now the 7.
They are now the 7.
Because they have the tiebreaker over Miami, I believe.
They have the tiebreak over Pittsburgh and Miami. Head up, they've won.
So,
yep.
New England wins. They're in the playoffs. They're playing Buffalo. At Buffalo. I think they lose.
Yeah. So, the situation is
if the
Patriots have to lose,
and then it's
the Dolphins have to win.
Miami plays the Jets.
If they beat the Jets,
they win, and the Patriots lose, they're in.
And they're starting Skylar Thompson.
So I think they lose.
I think they lose too.
Okay, but then we have Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh
is playing Cleveland. And if New England loses,
which they're going to,
and Miami loses, and Pittsburgh wins.
Pittsburgh, after being what, like, I gotta go look at it.
They will. He will still never have had a losing season. And
oh my God, 1, 2,
he will be making
3,
the playoffs.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They started out 3-7 in their first 10 games, and they're gonna make the playoffs. Do you think it's the most likely scenario the Steelers make the playoffs?
Based on matchup, the only thing
Joe Flacco starting in the
I was about to say
game, though. That's
Miami and Jets is an ugly game, where they're both playing with third string quarterbacks.
Yeah, this is gonna be a rough one.
But I hate Pittsburgh. Don't get me wrong.
No, I mean I don't like Pittsburgh either.
But like this storyline, I kind of want to.
Yeah,
see
it's fair because like you have one of the greatest coaches in NFL history.
Yeah.
Still doing it,
Yeah.
and with a rookie quarterback. And Kenny Pickett, he's won off of 2 game-winning drives in his back-to-back games.
Mid at best through the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, and then he's just like a baller in the fourth quarter.
Insane in the fourth and overtime.
Yeah. What I can't believe, honestly, is that Cleveland ended up 7-9 and the Jets ended up 7-9. After being 7-3, the Jets were, and they missed the playoffs.
It's just so crazy how fast everything fell apart for the Jets.
Yeah, they lost fucking Breece Hall, and then it was kind of downhill from there.
Breece Hall went out, and then apparently as soon as Breece Hall went out, they just lost the ability to play quarterback. All of them.
I don't think they ever had it, but
I mean, he was doing better, and then he just played the worst you've ever seen.
Oh, man. It's rough out here. Like, Tennessee is one of the biggest fucking upsets, though.
They had
because we do have the result of one division.
They lost 7 games straight.
To
not win and they were still. All they had to do was win one of their last 7 games, and they clinch.
So we have the result of the Saturday matchups, right? Mm-hmm. Jacksonville played Tennessee late last night because we're shooting on Sunday of Week 18. Jacksonville clinched the division first time since 2017 with Blake Bortles and Jalen Ramsey, and they had fucking Miles Jack. They had Calais Campbell on that team. I don't know if you remember that.
Was that Maurice Jones-Drew?
No, not 2017. No. Oh, they had Leonard Fournette.
Oh, they had Leonard Fournette. Yeah, I knew they had a cool running back.
Yeah. They had who was their receivers?
It might have been Allen Robinson, possibly.
Allen Robinson probably was there. What was it, like D.D. Westbrook?
Maybe.
Dude, 2017, that's a fucking crazy playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Foles, Tom Brady. Gotta name the GOAT first. And then you got, who was it?
In that order.
Case Keenum? Case Keenum and Blake Bortles. That was the 4 championship quarterbacks.
Case Keenum.
Case fucking Keenum. Since 2017, the Jacksonville Jaguars have not won their division. They ended up winning their division this year. And we're going to talk about NFL awards later.
Yes.
Doug Peterson needs a lot of
reflection
on that. But if we're going to talk about placement of the 3 wildcard positions, I don't think the only way that Baltimore goes ahead of the Chargers is if the Chargers lose and the Ravens end up winning. Yeah. So the Ravens will go to the 5. They ended up playing Jacksonville in the first round. And then Baltimore, they would play – well, no. The Ravens would play the Jaguars, and then they'd have the Chargers against the Bengals is what it would be. If that ended up happening.
It just doesn't look likely.
Yeah.
Chargers playing Denver seems like not an easy win, but it should be a win. Yeah. And Baltimore playing Bengals should not be.
The highest that the 3 out can get is the 7 seed, by the way. They can't go up any further in the AFC. That's all that they can get. But as for these wild card matchups, we would have, as it currently stands, if everything ends up happening the way it is right now, we'll talk about the 3 other scenarios as well. We got Buffalo against New England in the first round.
Which is it. This is the weirdest.
That would be a back-to-back matchup.
That we're gonna be getting that twice in this playoffs.
Yeah.
Because Bengals and Ravens are gonna play each other.
And that'd be back-to-back.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It is weird. But the thing is that does New England end up winning this matchup this week? I would say no. But if they do end up winning, they're going to lose next week. I think Buffalo's way better.
Yeah.
And as for the 3-6 matchup, Cincinnati versus the Ravens, I'd have Cincinnati winning.
Same.
Then you got the Chargers, Jaguars. I go Chargers.
I might go Jags.
You go Jags?
I think I actually would go
Jags. The Jags beat the fuck out of the Chargers earlier in the year. That'd be a like a revenge matchup.
Yeah. Oh, I do love revenge.
Because it was what, like 38-10?
Yeah, but just the way Jacksonville's playing.
They have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen back. They finally have Joey Bosa back.
Yeah.
Derwin James is back.
Chargers are playing a lot better, but
they got all their fucking players back. No wonder.
The Jacksonville's also just
they're on one,
and they're gonna get so much better next year. They're getting a true number 1 receiver next year.
I don't know. I'd take the Chargers in that matchup.
So I'll take Jacksonville.
Then we'd have the divisional matchup would be Kansas City. It'd be Kansas City, Los Angeles.
I didn't take a single upset.
You didn't take a single upset. So you would have Kansas City, Jacksonville, and you have Buffalo, Cincy.
Yeah.
Buffalo, Cincy would be a neutral site game.
Buffalo, Cincy pisses me off. That is the two teams. Like, whoever wins this is who I want to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, not me, but...
I mean, yeah, I get it. Your team is on that list.
I do want to keep it strictly to the Wildcard Round because we're going to do our picks later on in the year.
Yeah.
Well, later on in the playoffs. We got, 3 more weeks to go before the Super Bowl.
All right, so do any of these teams beat Buffalo? Does New England? Does Miami? Does Pittsburgh? Which one has
I could
the
see
best
Miami
chance?
if they get Tua back.
Yeah.
And perhaps Pittsburgh if they play like they've been playing.
Yeah.
But it would take a lot. Realistically, no. None of those teams beat them. But
Obviously.
I could say Miami probably be the best team, the one with the best shot.
Yeah.
But that'd be it, honestly. I have no other expectation there. So the only difference I'd have between you is that I'd have the Chargers winning over the Jags.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have the Jags winning.
Yes.
So, but you do like you do like revenge games.
I do.
So
and Chargers winning this, we go into another revenge game against the
Kansas
City,
City.
and then they win that.
That'd be
one.
what? That'd be round 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. The revenge games never stop for the Chargers.
they haven't had a fucking miss since Justin Herbert's been there. That they've played strict fucking great games. That's all they've had. Man, Chargers Chiefs.
That would be
We need to get that again. That'd be fire. Of course, we got so many eliminated teams down there.
Yeah.
There's only one team that had 2 or less wins in the entire NFL, and it was Houston.
Is that true?
It's true.
I thought
Houston has the worst record.
I thought Bears have 2 wins.
No, 3.
They do have 3 wins. Yeah.
Because who did y'all beat?
The 49ers, week 1.
Did y'all beat the Patriots? That's who y'all beat, wasn't it?
It might have been. It really might have
No,
been.
y'all beat the Texans.
We did beat the Texans.
So you beat the 49ers, Texans.
It's crazy we beat the 49ers. And then we beat Houston week 3. And then we beat the Patriots week
That's
7.
insane.
Dude, I love the teams we beat.
What?
All we had to do was beat Green Bay. And it was
Green Bay one
so
fucking
good.
time, dude.
Oh,
my God. Well, I mean, that kind of wraps up our AFC wrap-up preview.
Yeah.
There are 3 scenarios for that 7 seed. Oh, man.
The NFC, though.
The one I want the most is Pittsburgh, just because of the story.
I like
Miami
Tomlin.
doesn't have Tua, so I don't think it's going to be interesting.
Same.
I think that New England is a bare-bones, terrible fucking team. I don't think New England's good at all. They've been fucking coasting by all year.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I want the Steelers as well.
Yeah, of those 3 teams, I mean, I don't like the Steelers either, but we are taking what we get. But let's move over to the NFC. Way more interesting conference. Way more for this 7 seed.
Oh, man.
We've got...
Because the 7 seed could actually win.
It's crazy
They
because
could actually win the game.
the team with the second best record in the NFL does not have a division locked up.
Yeah.
That is fucking incredible. So, let's start out from the bottom. I want to end out on the top. Okay? We've got 3 teams playing for the 7 seed. We've got the Giants locked up into the 6. They can't move up or down.
Yes.
You got Dallas sitting at the 5. We're going to talk about them more.
They can move.
That's their current wild card positions, 5, 6, 7. Seahawks are in the 7. Didn't mention that. But we've got 2 teams fighting for that final spot. Seattle.
3 teams.
Yeah, 3 teams, including Seattle. You've got Seattle playing against the Rams this week.
A win does not guarantee.
A win does not guarantee that they make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, you've got Detroit behind the Seahawks, who is not in because of the tiebreak that the Seattle Seahawks have over the Lions.
Yes.
The Green Bay Packers, after being, 3-8?
Yeah. Terrible.
Have gone on a run 5 straight. If they end up beating the Lions in Week 18, they make the playoffs. After being one of the most mediocre fucking teams.
They were 4-8.
They were 4-8.
And they've won. They beat Chicago, Rams, Miami, Minnesota.
So they haven't beaten a good team.
Minnesota. They smacked
They're really
Minnesota
not good,
too.
though. I don't think Minnesota's good
They're
at all.
questionable.
They are questionable as fuck. But would it be the worst season for you, NFL-wise? Maybe ever.
Because, I mean, it's not the worst season because the Bears.
What if they made it
getting
to the
that
fucking? What if they made it to the Super Bowl?
If they,
We are going to talk about that. We got to talk about it. But
Green Bay's gonna miss the playoffs. I think
You
Detroit's
think so?
gonna win.
you think Detroit wins?
I think Detroit wins this game, and I actually think Seattle wins. So I think Seattle makes the playoffs.
You just want Geno.
I love Geno.
You want Geno.
He's that guy. But I'm happy with Detroit winning.
You know, if I had to choose what the most likely scenario is, it would be what is currently sitting on the screen.
Yeah.
Because we got to talk about the number 1 seed a little bit. There's like 3 scenarios for the number 1 seed.
So you think Detroit and Seattle's gonna win?
Is it for sure that if Green Bay wins
Yes.
and Seattle wins, they're in?
Yeah, Green Bay's in.
Did Green Bay beat Seattle?
I don't know, but they have the tiebreaker. I'm 100%.
Okay. Could Green Bay? You know what? No, I'm gonna say it. I think Green Bay makes it into the playoffs. I feel bad.
You've been such a Detroit guy.
I know, but
And
the
you're
thing
just
is,
bailing on them the last minute.
is that Seattle's not losing to the Rams. I don't care who's starting quarterback. I don't care. It's just not happening. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I do love the Lions. I wish that they had won last fucking week.
Yeah, that's all they needed.
Who'd they lose to? It was like what the Giants. Wait, no, was it the Giants? They lost a game recently that they could. It was fucking Carolina.
It was the Panthers.
Who's not going to even make the playoffs?
They lost 37-20, 32.
Oh my God, bro. Timmy, I was texting him in the middle of it. I was like, is this not a collapse or is this not a fucking collapse? It was really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Carolina's eliminated.
Then you beat the Bears 41-10.
Yeah. Poor Bears.
Well, they weren't going to beat the Bills on Thanksgiving. That's just not happening.
Mm-mm.
They could have beat, like, they were in every single game except for the Lions and Patriots. They could have won every other game.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the bandwagon for the Lions all year. I think Dan Campbell is very fucking deserving of a Coach of the Year nod, but I don't think they make the playoffs. At this juncture, I think that the Packers probably end up winning, and then Seattle just by default doesn't make the playoffs.
Bullshit.
But
The better quarterback deserves to be there.
what I want to happen the most is clearly I want the Lions to win.
Yeah, and I want Geno. I want Seattle.
I want Geno to lose
I don't.
for the Lions because they have to for the Lions to win.
I mean this. I want him to win this game and the next. I want him to beat the 49ers.
He wouldn't.
What do you mean? That's who they
Wait,
play.
what? No. Oh yeah, yeah.
Unless
Unless
Arizona wins somehow.
Well, then it would be Minnesota at the 2.
Yeah. And if they win. Because they're playing Chicago.
Oh no.
So you have Philadelphia.
No,
playing
that's not right. That's not right.
Philadelphia's playing
San
the
Francisco for sure has the 2.
How?
At the very least.
They're 12-4. They're tied.
They have the tiebreak over Minnesota.
But Minnesota will have a better record.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fuck. You're right.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. What the fuck?
They'll be 13-4.
I didn't know Minnesota had a chance at the 2. That's crazy.
Yeah, if they have the 2, I'm assuming they would have a chance at the 1.
Minnesota would have a chance at the 1.
If they didn't lose to the Eagles early in the year.
No, they wouldn't have a chance at the 1. Because Dallas and Philly both beat Minnesota.
Yeah. So they can't.
They can't get the 1.
Yeah.
The highest they can get is the 2. Let's talk about the 5 seed. The biggest fucking chance to blow all this work throughout the season. Philadelphia has the golden opportunity to write their own destiny, get a first round bye, get healthy, and get everybody back for the first round of the playoffs. First round of the division round, because the wildcard round is just like, it's a play-in. But Philly plays the Giants this week, who is locked into their seat no matter what. Mm-hmm. Unless they want to get some work with their starters, I don't really see them doing that. They're going to go into their first-round matchup against Minnesota currently.
More than likely Minnesota.
They want to be fresh and healthy, so I think they're going to sit their starters.
I don't think they'll sit their starters.
They may play them for a quarter.
Yes.
It'd be like a faux preseason game essentially. They want to keep them like on ice a little bit. Philadelphia needs to win a game. They can't lose the backups. If you lose the backups, this is the most deliberate fucking mishandling of a season I've ever seen.
I don't think that they sit their starters, especially if the Eagles are not sitting theirs.
What do you mean? They have no chance to move up. They have no chance to move their seeding. Why would they do it? They could get a fucking week of rest. It's basically a bye game.
It's a divisional matchup.
It doesn't matter.
And you can shit on a divisional
You could
matchup.
shit on the team that's going to have this fucking guy scoring touchdowns on you all day.
You always should.
Now, it's not happening.
It's
either that or they think, okay, here's the thing. Here's what you look at in this situation. Would you rather face Philly or Dallas in the NFC Championship? That's how you weigh it.
Yeah.
So if you want to face Dallas in the NFC Championship, if you would rather have Dallas in the NFC Championship, you want to have them in the 5 seed. Because they're going to be knocking out all the better teams ahead of you. So why not? Why not keep yourself where you're at?
Yeah, I think...
you would be playing Philly earlier on in the playoffs if you end up winning your games. Yeah. I don't know. It's... Yeah. I'm pretty disappointed with how the Dallas game went, and then we fucking shit the bed against New Orleans.
I don't understand.
If there's anything that could prove that Jalen Hurts is the MVP of the NFL, he's got to come back and win this fucking game.
I hope he does.
Against some backups.
I really like
You got to look good, too.
Yeah.
He's got to look good.
Yeah.
But there's 2 other teams fighting for the number 1 seed. If Dallas ends up beating Washington, which that's another thing. If they lose, then Philly automatically wins the division.
Yeah.
Because they have a better record overall. Which I don't know. They're starting Taylor Heineke. No, they're going Sam Howell.
Are they?
They're going Sam Howell.
That's awesome. I actually like that.
Yeah, so they're trying to get some reps with him.
Speaking of fumbling, they had the division and they said we're going to start Carson, or they had the 7 seed pretty locked, and they said we're going to start Carson Wentz, and then got eliminated.
He's played horrible. He had 3 picks in that game.
Yeah, he's bad. But I like Sam Howell. I'd like to see him.
I like Taylor Heineke more than him, but
I don't like him more than Sam Howell.
We haven't seen Sam at all, so.
Yeah. That's fine.
But if Philly loses, Dallas wins, Dallas takes over the number 1 seed, they are getting the first round bye. They win the division.
That's so
at the
crazy.
best record in the NFC.
Crazy.
They'd be tied with San Francisco, but they have the tiebreak because of what game? I don't know. Chicago.
Maybe
they lost to Chicago.
That'd
be a dumb fucking tiebreak.
That's hilarious. That's such a funny tiebreak.
That'd be hilarious.
The Bears fucked over San Fran.
That's bad.
I like
but
that.
If Dallas loses, Philly loses, San Francisco takes over the number 1 seed.
Yes.
I believe. I think.
Yes, they have to.
And
then if San Fran loses, Minnesota only moves to the 2, and the Eagles stay at 1.
Actually, for Dallas to get the number 1 seed, both Philly and San Francisco has to lose. That's what it is. San Francisco will be number 1 seed if Philly loses.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Damn.
So a lot of things can happen.
There's a lot of fucking shit in the NFC.
Let's just run through the matchups.
Do you want to keep them as? I mean, you're saying Seattle's going to make the playoffs.
I'm saying Philly versus Giants. We think Philly's going to win. We're talking about this week, right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So then we know that Philly's going to get the 1.
Yep.
San Francisco versus Arizona.
Yeah, they win.
San Francisco.
So they'll be the 2.
They're going to stay at the 2.
Yep.
Minnesota's going to play Chicago.
They probably keep. I mean, they can't move up or down at that point.
But they're going to win. They're going to
win their game.
Tampa Bay's going to play Atlanta. They might lose this game.
Tom Brady's starting, apparently. They've already fucking said that they're going to play their starters. I don't know why.
Because they're bad.
They need the reps, but
yes.
I mean, it's still Tom Brady.
Doesn't matter, though. Dallas is going to play Washington. They're probably going to win. Giants are going to play Philly. They're going to lose. And then we already talked about the 7 seed. So we ended up not thinking this is going to change.
Well, you have Seattle. I have Green Bay.
That's the only difference.
I think Green Bay will make playoffs. So let's talk about the Wildcard Round.
Okay.
That would mean San Francisco is playing at home against Green Bay for my situation.
Seattle
or Seattle.
I have picked Seattle to beat
Seattle's
San Fran.
been swept by the 49ers so long. Winning 3 times in a season against a division opponent is really fucking difficult. It's all I've ever heard. It always tends to pan out that way. Do you have Seattle beating the 49ers?
I've always picked Seattle to beat the 49ers. They have not done it yet.
San Francisco.
Big Dick Brock is playing, and it does make me change the way I look at San Fran. I think they're a legitimate team now.
I mean, okay. I don't think it's necessarily just him. Got Chris McCaffrey after the trade deadline. He's been playing fucking great for them.
Yeah. But, like, when you have a good quarterback, your team's better.
True.
Yeah. And Big Dick Brock is...
Big Dick Brock is doing it.
I mean, he's that guy.
Okay, so we would both have San Francisco winning the first round.
Yes.
In both situations.
I
want Green Bay to win that game. I don't like Green Bay, but I don't hate them as much as you do.
Yeah,
I would rather Green Bay be the team we play.
Yeah, of course. I would much rather see Seattle. And, like, that's good for you all as well.
True. Seattle, we haven't played Seattle this year, so it'd be nice to beat Geno and just prove that Jalen's way better.
I don't think that's an argument.
You've been telling Geno all year.
Yeah, Geno's the GOAT.
But okay, so then we got Minnesota playing the Giants.
I honest to God don't know how this one's gonna go at this point.
I honestly think the Giants win this matchup because they fucking lost by what? I'm gonna go look at that. They barely lost the first time around. Danny fucking Dimes has been playing on fire.
He has. Just out.
They lost by 3.
How much do you believe in the Giants in the playoffs?
Absolutely, way more than fucking Minnesota.
Minnesota has been just stealing games.
Yeah. That makes me feel less good about them. Like, they won a game off of what? What was it?
The best catch in history. Don't forget they won off of that.
They fucking came back from 33 down.
Oh yeah, the biggest comeback in history.
They just got Justin Jefferson shut down too. Like one catch for 5 yards. 15 yards.
I think. Yeah, he had 15 yards on the night.
That's bad.
He only needed 200 to break the record. Now he needs.
He could have done that.
175.
Yeah, they could do that against the Bears.
Fuck.
They're playing the Bears.
Not against the Bears.
If I had to pick for this wild card matchup. My first game, obviously, I'd have 49ers over whoever. I would have the Giants beating the Minnesota Vikings.
I can't do it.
You have to do it.
I can't do it.
The Vikings are terrible.
I could see it happening.
Saquon may have over 100 yards.
I love Saquon. I'd love to see it for him. I can't root for Danny Dimes.
Okay, so you would have the Vikings.
Yeah.
You're not taking any underdogs.
I am technically taking an underdog, but it's not really.
Based off the seeding, it is.
Yeah, I'm taking
Dallas over Tampa.
I'm taking Dallas to get
what
that
if they
revenge.
Look really good.
Get that revenge game.
You didn't pick the other revenge game.
Which one?
Giants? Jacksonville and the Chargers.
Yeah, but
I mean, the Giants and fucking Vikings are a revenge game too.
You're right. Take all revenge.
Take all revenge games.
That is my motto.
That is your motto. You're not living by it.
Bet on the revenge games.
I can't believe you.
I'm taking Dallas to win this. Like,
do I only get like a couple more times this season to bet against the Cowboys. You know what I mean?
It's all right. Look, this is what's crazy. You have a terrible Tampa Bay team at home.
Yep.
But it's in the playoffs with Tom Brady.
Yes, that's the thing.
And it's against this great.
And they fucking beat him the first time.
And it's
week
against,
one.
It's
with this same roster.
It's against the great Dallas team that has been just on fire. But it's in the playoffs.
It is in the playoffs. I think that if this was in AT&T Stadium, I think that Dallas wins. I'm not taking Dallas.
So I'm betting against everything I believe in. Because I bet on only revenge games and never against Tom Brady. And I am betting against Tom Brady, and I have almost taken no revenge games.
Listen, the last time I bet against Tom Brady, he beat the Eagles, 42-21 or something. So, yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm going to take the Bucks. Because they've been on a roll, and they're finally looking good offensively. Can't run the ball for shit, though.
Mm-hmm.
If they could run the ball against one fucking team. Dallas has been terrible on run defense all year. So, yeah, I'll take Tampa. So that means that my matchups for the divisional round would be Philly against New York for round 3. Then we would have San Francisco against the Buccaneers.
Mine looks so weird.
Yours would be
Seattle playing
the Eagles. And then you would have San Francisco against the Cowboys. That is weird.
I like it, though.
What was your matchup?
That'd be more fun.
Then you would have, in the AFC, you had Kansas City against... Did you say New England's going to make it? Or you said the Steelers?
Steelers.
Okay, so you had the Steelers. So you'd have Kansas City against Buffalo.
Yeah, because I took no
You'd
upsets.
have Kansas City against Jacksonville, and then you'd have Buffalo against Cincy.
Yeah.
Man. It's going to be crazy when Trevor Lawrence is in a Super Bowl. That'd be fucking insane.
Could you imagine Trevor Lawrence going up against Geno Smith in the Super Bowl? The craziest
That
Super
would be
Bowl
the
of all
lowest
time.
rated Super Bowl I've ever seen. What would be the lowest rated? Patriots?
No one's watching the Patriots.
Patriots Giants. Round 3.
That
shit.
actually
Danny
would-
Dimes and Mac Jones.
That actually would pop off just because of that. But
What's it called?
It'd be the most
The
boring.
meeting of the Joneses?
it'd be the
Daniel
most-
Jones, Mac Jones?
That's the worst Super Bowl.
That's the worst Super Bowl.
What Super Bowl do you actually want to see? It can. I'm saying don't be biased, as in like you're like, oh, I want to see New England. I want to see New England against the Philly. Like you can pick Philly. I just mean don't pick the easiest matchup for Philly.
Well, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't pick. I want to see Miami make the Super Bowl just because like they're so fucking high powered, and Tua hasn't played in a couple weeks, so like, I would love to see them. But my Super Bowl at the beginning of the season was Chargers Eagles.
Okay.
And the way I have it, the Chargers would play the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round. It's lining up. Jalen Hurts MVP for the Super Bowl. It could fucking happen. And it was Justin Herbert's side. He just had to make the playoffs. I've been saying it for a couple of years now. I love Justin Herbert. I think he's a great quarterback. Needs to make the playoffs. And he did. So, what about you?
I don't remember my Super Bowl pick.
You had Bengals.
It was Bengals and someone else. I can't think.
Was it San Francisco?
No.
Was it
I
the
don't think
Rams?
so. It might have been the Rams.
I think it
actually
may have
makes
been a
sense.
repeat.
Yeah, that actually sounds like me. I mean, my favorite one would obviously be
Seattle
Bengals. Seattle Bengals. I'd actually really love to see Minnesota, Cincinnati, just the Justin Jefferson versus Jamar.
Well, one of those teams would have won their first Super Bowl of all time too.
Oh, that would be really.
Neither
cool
one of those
too.
teams have won. Buffalo hasn't won a Super Bowl, so put them in there.
As a fan, like of the players, it's
got
to be
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson too.
It would be Philly and Bengals, and then Bills is that second team for me. Because I love Devontae, I love AJ.
So you would say Philly's the number one team you want to make the Super Bowl for
Other than Seattle, but like realistically, it's Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, are they your favorite team in the NFC?
Overall,
of the playoff teams, obviously.
of the playoff teams, probably.
Not even your favorite isn't like the team you think is the best, but like the team you root for the most.
If Trey Lance was starting, it would be San Fran.
Yeah.
Just because I really like Trey Lance, but
yeah,
and I like Brock, but I just don't root for 49ers.
Yeah. The teams you want to make if your favorites don't, I guess.
Bills, for sure.
Bills.
I want to see Stephon get that ring.
Yeah.
And then
San Francisco hasn't won a title in so long. It's been so long.
And then I guess it'd be
Seattle.
I mean, it's Seattle for sure, but like if it's not Seattle, if it's not Philly, I guess it's the 49ers. I guess seeing CMC get that ring.
Because I'm not a big fan of any team past Philly. Like I don't like any NFC East team. Fuck the Vikings. Like they came in 2017 or 2018, but they were talking their shit and got put in their place.
Yeah.
We're on pace to win a Super Bowl every 5 years. Like that'd be fucking great.
If you see the Vikings versus Buffalo, like that is guaranteed now the most even trade of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
like it feels like it's Literally worked
You
out
both
perfect for
got-
both of them.
Hall of Fame receivers for your Hall of Fame. Well, not Hall of Fame quarterback because Kirk isn't, but yeah.
Case Keenum.
You got a Hall of Famer out of
Yeah.
that transaction. But you also turned your quarterback into a Hall of Famer with Buffalo. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it sucks because I like so many teams in the AFC. I want to see Patrick Mahomes get a couple more rings.
I do too, but I just don't want it to be this season because
Same.
they're consistent.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if Philly's going to be this good next year. They're going to have pretty much the same. They're going to have a lot of obviously expiring contracts, but they're going to have the core of the team. You know, that doesn't give me any confidence though, because this has been the best that Jalen Hurts has ever played. It's his first year playing like this. Can he keep it up? I'm going to do the same thing like I did with Justin Jefferson and shit. You know what I mean? That's a realistic way to go about it.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know, man.
We'll see.
I would love if it isn't Philly and it isn't. Who do I want to win the AFC? If I'd want it to be a team that hasn't won.
You said Chargers.
Well, the Chargers are the pick that I had, but I don't necessarily want them to. But you got the Bengals, Jaguars, and Bills. Those three teams have never won a Super Bowl.
Be super, and now they win their division.
There are 4 teams in the AFC side that have not won a Super Bowl. Currently.
Chargers haven't.
Chargers haven't.
Yeah.
Bengals haven't. Jaguars haven't. And the Bills haven't. It's 4 out of 7 teams that have not won.
And then in the NFC, it's just the Vikings, right? It
Um,
has to be.
You got the Vikings
Yeah. Eagles obviously
and the Cowboys. We basically don't count those.
They have one.
Oh, man.
Seattle's don't count. They had a washed quarterback.
I want more. I am going to be the Eagles need a second. Howie Roseman deserves 2 Super Bowls. Get Brandon Graham his second. Let him retire. Who else is on this team?
What if you're in
Fletcher Cox getting a second Super Bowl? Let
There's a
him
good
retire.
chance if you all could have a Ravens-esque issue of just win the Super Bowl, whole team retires.
Yeah, because they had Ed Reed right after Ray Lewis and
all of them were just
Terrell Suggs was there for another couple years, but he ended up in fucking Arizona, or he ended up on the Chiefs.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Terrell Suggs won a championship with the Chiefs. You remember that?
No,
He was on the Chiefs that year, I think.
I had no idea actually.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
Melvin Ingram too, or some shit.
Yeah.
I think.
it's one of those weird things. One of the weirdest things in history of that's the first time I ever seen a team get bad due to retirement.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't see Fletch retiring, but he's on
But if
his
you
last
win-
year of the deal. I don't think we're going to re-sign him
And if you
just
win
because
the
he's
Super
older.
Bowl, why not?
Yeah.
I think Kelsey could. Kelsey definitely could just be look, I won the Super Bowl. I'm walking off like this.
He's a Hall of Famer. There's a lot of Hall of Famers that are going to be
He's so good.
off the team soon. Brandon Graham, he's close. He's got 70 something sacks. If he were able to hit 100, I don't think he's going to in his career because it's just a difficult thing to do at 30. What? He's 35, 36.
Yeah, having 30 sacks this game would be pretty rough.
Man. They do have okay.
Daniel Jones.
Before we move on to the next segment, let's talk about this. So the Eagles are the first team in the NFL ever to have 4 players with 10 or more sacks. They also have the chance to break the 84 Bears record for sacks in a season.
I didn't know that.
72 sacks in 1984. They're sitting at, what is it, 68? 69 sacks. That's what it is.
Nice.
They have 69 sacks. They got to get 5 more. No. I said 72. I can't fucking math. They need 5 more, so 67. They're at 67 sacks.
I'm just believing what you're saying more than running the numbers.
I've looked at these numbers. They have 4 players at 10 or more. Hassan Reddick has 16.
Wow.
Which is why when we talk about the awards, I'm a little peeved. But
Yeah.
yeah, Philly's got a lot that they're going for in this game. They can get 5 sacks and break the record for most sacks in the NFL season since it's been tracked in the 80s, early 80s, I think. And the Bears, 84, 85 Bears.
That's crazy.
One of the best defensive regimes ever.
Yeah.
That'd be rough. That'd be another L for you for the season.
Yeah.
Just another record gone.
Yeah, it sucks.
That sucks.
Most,
I feel bad
Most
for you.
wins ever gone.
Yeah. First team ever to have, what is it? 3 players over 1,300 yards. That's on the board. Like 3 offensive players over 1,300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Miles Sanders, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Devontae has over 1,100 so far. A.J. hit 1,400 this year. Double-digit touchdowns. Haven't had that since 2014.
He's good.
This team is fucking great, but Jalen Hurts is the catalyst. Need to get that motherfucker back in rhythm.
Yeah.
That's the playoffs. It's literally next week. We got games today. We're going to know the playoff standings today.
Yep.
Well, by the end of tomorrow.
Yes.
Because who's the late night game? Let's go look at that motherfucking schedule real quick. Then we'll move on. Because we got what? How long are we into this shit?
Yeah, it's like an hour and 2 minutes so far.
Hour and 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're zooming.
Yeah.
It's really easy when it's just me and you.
I know it.
We're too good.
Yeah. We
the
don't argue
fucking
as much.
game of the year, 8:20, Sunday Night Football, NBC.
Who?
Lions at Green Bay. Seattle needs to lose, bro.
No, they don't.
Fuck you, Seattle. Baker Mayfield, if you start, do it. Is it Baker? Is it Baker starting?
I heard from a random video that it was Stafford because of that rule. Like, Stafford promised that he would always get Detroit into the playoffs. He is back this week. He is going to do everything in his power to get Detroit in the playoffs. Like, that's what I heard. I don't know if that is.
I'm going to go with their injuries. I just want to see. Because, like,
yeah.
If Baker starts, I don't see them having a good start. Aaron Donald's out. Ben Skowronek is out. Brian Allen's out. Nick Scott's on injury reserve.
You see Sean McVay might get fired?
I don't. Wait, what?
Yeah.
McVay's immediate future with Rams in limbo.
Yeah.
Based off what?
This year. He won him a fucking Super Bowl and then has a bad year. And they're like, yep, it's obviously your fault.
Is it the team? Is it the team saying it? That's really bad. I do want the Rams to win. So maybe that saves his job. Because the Lions are going to win their game. Let's go. I do think the Packers end up winning, though.
You know, it's a possibility.
What?
He loses his game, loses his job, and goes to coach for Denver. It's such a good fit, honestly. And I hate it.
We're like anti-Denver.
I fucking hate Denver.
I fucking hate Denver. I hate that whole division, dude. I love Patrick Mahomes, but like,
yeah.
I hate that he's so fucking good.
And Herbert.
Herbert's good as fuck too. Derek Carr's
I really just hate Denver.
I just hate Denver.
Yeah.
I don't like the Raiders either, but I fucking hate Denver.
I love the Raiders.
Like Denver had Peyton Manning. No wonder I fucking hate him.
Yeah, I was a Peyton hater.
I think Tebow.
I fucking hate
Tebow was an Eagle, bruh.
Yeah.
That's a terrible
And
time.
a Patriot.
He was a Patriot, too. You remember our quarterback room when he was on the Eagles?
He was in Jacksonville?
He was in Jacksonville, too. As a tight end.
In the worst block I've
ever seen. Last season. He was 34.
Isn't that crazy? They went from having Tebow on the roster, then got the number 1 pick, and then they got rid of him, and now they're win their division. That's the correlation I saw.
Doug Peterson would have never brought him in.
Well, no, he's a coach.
Oh, so you know how this player was good once in college? Well, here you go. Get the fuck out of my face. That's embarrassing. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a playoff winner in his first season making playoffs.
Possibly. You don't think so, but I think so.
Yeah, I think the Chargers win that game. But
which means Herbert is still winless in the playoffs because he's never made it before.
True.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We've got
we'll quit hating
ourselves a little bit of a season finale to talk about. We're going to talk about the NFL awards.
Yeah.
The odds, what we think's going to happen, what we want to happen.
Yeah. I definitely want to make sure we include what we want to happen as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to get it right. It's like picking the Emmys and then being like, oh shit, I was fucking wrong here, and I'm glad I was.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's gonna be like. So we're gonna go to the less juicy aspects of these first. We'll start out with Coach of the Year. The odds-on favorite currently. Do you have it pulled up? You good to go?
Yes.
Okay.
I just go down.
You're down at the bottom. All right. So all these guys have a case.
And if you wanted to add 15 more people, they could probably have
There's
a case
like
too.
10 fucking coaches on here. Well, there's one on here that is glaring. That's like why. So the odds-on favorite currently is Nick Sirianni.
Makes sense.
Best record in the NFC, going from 9-8 to 13-3 currently.
Do you think if he fumbles that 1 seed, that it no longer goes to him?
I mean,
I very
for
much.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the growth from year 2 to 3
Yes.
with Jalen Hurts, that's a big deal for me. Bringing in A.J. Brown, having this great of an offensive season, and then the defense being as highly graded as they are, I think that all is taken into account. Overall, the worst aspect of the team is like the special teams, and they started to get better later this season. Yeah, if you lock up the number 1 seed in the NFC after being a fucking wildcard team, I think you deserve it. After eking in the playoffs last year, because the Eagles were the last team to make it. So, personally, I want Coach Sirianni to win it, but there's a couple guys that are on this list that I think have a better case, if not as good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get your take first. Who do you agree with this odds? Like, what's your reaction? I guess
Sirianni's the number 1.
you think so.
Yeah.
Like you agree with it.
Yes, as long as he doesn't fumble that 1 seed, I think that he is the.
Yeah.
And I think even if he probably does, he's probably still Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
But other than that, then you're looking at rather than the coach who coached the best team.
Or like had the biggest achievement
Yes.
for his team. You're
I
talking
think
about the
past
narrative.
that,
It's narrative driven.
then it's narrative.
Well,
After him,
not
I think,
necessarily because you got Kyle Shanahan at the second best, which
Yes.
is plus 275.
but I'm saying
It's like he had the second best record in the NFC.
Yeah.
And you also had your starting quarterback be hurt all year.
Yes.
So you're on your third string quarterback. You still made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe that gives him a little bit of an edge there.
Yeah. But I think that then from here you have all those narratives.
Yeah.
You have
Doug Peterson.
who's
Who's at plus 800 at third best odds to make
Yeah.
to win this award. Brian Daboll.
Yeah.
Bringing the Giants to playoffs first time since 2016.
Yeah.
Terrible fucking season last year, makes it to the playoffs this year
Yeah.
with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Dan
Dan
Campbell, who was on the edge of the playoffs, had the second worst record in the NFL last year. Makes the playoffs with pretty much a revamped team. I think they have to make the playoffs for him to get any real
Of course.
real say there. And then Kevin O'Connell, coach for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think he deserves it, just because the
No.
defense has been so fucking bad. I think that there's a lot of coaches that aren't on this list that I think have a better.
Pete
Carroll. You got Mike Tomlin.
Yes. Those are the two that.
Those are the ones that are like really glaring to me. Andy Reid.
Yeah. Andy Reid. Andy Reid's always going to get snubbed.
Yeah, he's not even in the discussion really.
It never will be because all the credit goes to Mahomes.
Yeah.
Even though Andy Reid, he is good.
Who else? We've got Sean McDermott for the Bills. We've also
Yeah.
got Zach Taylor for the Bengals. John Harbaugh for the Ravens. He's kind of treaded water with like Lamar being out for a whole month. Maybe he has a decent case. Mike McCarthy sitting at 12-4.
Yeah.
Has a chance to be the number 1 seed in the NFC.
And not even getting
Still
any credit.
not getting any credit.
That is weird.
See, these are the top odds, and
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell, he's sitting at plus 4,000. I think Mike McCarthy has a better narrative than him, and he's not even on this. So,
Yeah.
What I would expect to happen.
It's going to go to Sirianni.
I want Sirianni to win. That's who I want to win it, just because he's the Eagles head coach.
Yeah.
He's manned this team all year. He's made a lot of adjustments to his own personal philosophy as a coach. Allows Shane Steichen to take over the offensive end, and has transformed Jalen Hurts. Like, he's one of the best players in the NFL. So, with that being said, I think he does end up winning it if they end up winning this final game, being the number 1 seed, best record in the NFL. If they were to lose this game,
I think
the next one I would want would be Doug Peterson, because he won the division title first time since 2017. Trevor Lawrence looks like a top 5 quarterback, all due to his coaching staff and his like crazy work ethic. Even Brian Daboll. I don't like the Giants.
I want Daboll to win.
Yeah. If the Giants won this game against Philly, he would win it, I think. Like in week 18, if they were to knock the Eagles out of the number 1 seed with a fucking backup.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor's the backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like.
It's a good backup.
He's a good backup, but that'd be fucking insane.
Yeah.
The Eagles better not lose, or I'm going to redact it myself. I'll cut that out. But anyways,
but I think Daboll should win it. Obviously not over Sirianni, but I think Daboll should win it just because I picked the Giants to win 2 games.
Yeah,
I think
we all had them being terrible.
And not just like us here totally not biased, but like even like ESPN,
national media, like everybody had no expectations for the Giants.
Yeah, for him to.
Same with the Seahawks. Like the Seahawks. Yeah. Pete Carroll not being on this list is very insulting.
Yes.
Like moving on from Russell Wilson and Russell being fucking horrible. Like being able to identify that early on. Yeah. Like maybe we could get a big haul out of this. They've got a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
From a guy that they knew that was not good enough. So I don't know how he's not in there, but I think we're on board. We both think Sirianni's probably going to win.
I think if Sirianni doesn't win, Shanahan's going to be runner-up. Or I think he's the runner-up. I think he'll win it if Sirianni does not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think the odds are correct in this one.
Yeah.
I cannot say the same for this next one.
The next one?
NFL Comeback Player of the Year?
Yeah, me neither. Damn.
So Comeback Player of the Year is the weirdest award.
It really is because this is strictly a narrative award. Well, along with the numbers. I think the numbers matter a lot, but
so we have Saquon, who is coming back from injuries.
Yeah. And then Geno, who has been out of a starting role
who
for
just hasn't
years.
been starting. And then you have CMC, who's been injuries.
Yeah.
And then Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, who has also been traded from his former, place of destiny and traded onto the pits of hell in Detroit and is in line to make the playoffs.
He lived his entire life in California.
Yep.
And they got
played in California. Was drafted to a California team.
And they got traded to Detroit. Poor guy.
Poor fucking guy. I mean, Detroit's a good place. I went there week 1. It was fucking awesome.
But
that fan base has someone to play for.
But you lived your entire life in California.
He really did.
And then had to move to Detroit.
Got to go to shitty ass cold Detroit. Detroit, Michigan. Derrick Henry plus 8,000. I get why he's on here, but. Nah.
So it really comes down to these 3. And it has only been these 3 all year.
Yeah.
It is Saquon, it is Geno, it is CMC.
Yep.
I think CMC is going to win this award.
You think so?
He did get snubbed on the Pro Bowl, so it does show that they're kind of snubbing him. But I think he's going to win this award. Saquon is kind of not fallen off, but he is definitely slowed down. And he's not even going to play this week.
I don't think he plays in Week 18.
Geno winning this game, putting them into playoffs, I very much want him and could see him winning it.
I think that's what tips him over. If Geno ends up winning this game against the Rams and making the playoffs, then he wins over Christian.
And if not, CMC's going to win it.
Christian, I don't even think he's playing. Well, they do need to secure their win in order to try to get the number 1 seed. I think Christian maybe plays first half because they're going to blow out the Cardinals. So, the best scenario would be Geno. I think Saquon is definitely deserving.
Yeah.
He may even get nods for Offensive Player of the Year. He may get a couple votes there, but yeah. I think we're on the same. Well, you're saying you think that Christian wins it. I think that Geno does win it. If I were to pick who I want, I would say Christian.
And I would say Geno.
I want Christian to win it just because the narrative around him has been he's just been injured for his entire career, and he's finally been able to make a comeback and stay healthy for a full season. I think that that's good for his character narrative, and hopefully that they can make some damage in the playoffs, and he's a part of it. So, moving on from there, we've got Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Was there any question?
There really isn't a question. Actually, there's two I would put into the ring, and they're the next two. So, they're definitely there. Here's what's crazy. Aiden Hutchinson has the same amount of picks as Sauce Gardner. Yeah. Did you know that?
I knew it was
They both
close.
have 3.
Yeah, but, there's a difference.
There is a difference. One guy, shuts down the entirety of a defense or an offense. The other guy is, chasing the quarterback and just so happens to get picks. Ahmad Gardner's a top 5 corner already. Maybe top 2, top 3 at worst. Because there's only a couple guys I would say over him. 2 of them play in Philly. 1 plays in Seattle. It was my top 5. Sauce is he may be the second best. Because I know who my number 1 is for the entirety of the season. It's been Slay. Slay's played the best corner of anybody.
Slay.
So,
I've been saying this, though. Sauce was that guy. I was on the bandwagon going into the...
Yeah, whenever he got picked third overall, I was like, I wanted that motherfucker so bad.
He fell so short.
Well, he didn't get picked third. No, Derek Stingley got picked third. He got picked, what, 4th?
Yeah. Yeah.
Houston is fucking busting out right now. They're fucking mad.
Yeah, they fucked that up.
Aiden Hutchinson does deserve a lot of credit, though.
He is good.
Tariq Woolen does, too.
Tariq Woolen is very good.
This motherfucker, I wanted him so bad. He was there.
Yeah.
The Eagles could have taken Tariq Woolen, wouldn't have to worry about a cornerback position next season. This dude is fucking good. But
they're not Sauce.
They're not Sauce.
And Sauce Gardner is...
I want Sauce to win it. I think Sauce ends up winning it. That's pretty much it there. Moving on. Got the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
So I just want to pull up a stat real quick.
Okay.
Do you know if a team has ever had a Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year?
They've never missed playoffs?
No. It has one team. Because right now, if
so
we're looking at it, the Jets have Sauce Gardner. The number 1 right now is Garrett Wilson for the Jets. So the Jets will have the Offensive Rookie of the Year and the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
So has any other team ever done that?
Yes, twice.
Can I try to guess?
Yeah,
what
go
years?
ahead.
What years were they?
It looks like 1967.
Oh my God. I have no idea. What's the other one?
So Detroit managed it in 1967 with players I've never fucking heard of in my life. Lim Barney, a cornerback, and Mel Farr as a running back.
And what's the other year?
51 years later, the Saints had cornerback.
No, I wanted to guess.
Marshawn Lattimore.
No way.
And Alvin Kamara.
That's who it was?
Yeah.
He was Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who was in that fucking draft? That was Kareem Hunt.
Kamara's that guy, though.
Oh my God.
So we could see
that's
the third time ever.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
And it's kind of crazy because
how is Brock Purdy up there?
What do you mean, how is he up there?
He hasn't played a full season, though.
Yeah, but he's that guy.
Christian Watson deserves better odds than he does, I think. Played a full season. Come on.
I think the craziest thing about this, if there were no injuries, the Jets win it for sure.
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall was Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So the
Damian, what's his name?
Pierce.
He's fallen off a lot.
The Texans have just collapsed. They cannot get any offense.
Brian Robinson Jr.'s got better odds than him right now. 2,200 plus 2,200.
Yeah.
It's just
Kenneth Walker is amazing, and it's crazy to see that they're going to have 2 top 3s.
Yeah, Seattle and New York, they had the 2 best drafts in the NFL last year. I think.
Yes.
I think obviously the Jets had a better draft, but
yep.
Seattle, I was saying they got Charles Cross. They were able to get fucking Tariq Woolen, who I wanted so fucking bad, and then Kenneth Walker. He was leading rusher in the Big Ten, All-American, great fucking player for Michigan State. He deserves this. Mm-hmm. So,
Brock Purdy is next.
Yeah.
I get it. Big Dick Brock. That's what he does.
He's won 4 games?
4-0. And then Christian Watson has just been a touchdown machine here at the end of the year. and Brian Robinson Jr. So who do you got winning it?
Garrett Wilson.
I've been saying Garrett Wilson. No Olave.
No Chris Olave.
Olave.
No
Whatever. I don't
Chris
care.
Olave. The Saints have been bad. He has kind of. He's got a lot of yards this year. It's not really.
He's not bad. But he ain't no Garrett Wilson.
He's not Garrett Wilson. They're both Ohio State guys too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ohio State has so many good receivers in the NFL.
Their wide receiver.
It's fucking insane. All right, let's move on though. We got
The defensive
player of the
This
year.
is the one you were mad about.
Yeah, because like I get the first one. Obviously, I'm not. No, this is the guy that's gonna win it.
Should win it.
Should have MVP odds.
Yeah, but they just.
I'm just saying he should have some sort of MVP odds. Nick Bosa is leading the way, minus 1100. He's
done,
a lock.
What
Whenever
he has
Vegas
done at the end of this year.
Yeah, he's gonna hit. He's probably gonna break the record for most sacks in the season.
He really might.
I mean, they're playing the Cardinals, who have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. Yeah, he's great. He literally is like a generation-defining player. I think him and Joey were like neck and neck there for a while, but he is clearly better than his brother. Yeah, Nick Bosa is going to win this. I want him to win it just because it'd be his first one ever. Third-year player, right? He says third year?
I don't know.
Third or fourth year? He's somewhere around there. But yeah, then we got Micah Parsons at 2. I get it. I want to pull up some numbers for you.
Okay, I'm excited.
Let me get this. I'll go stat leaders. That's all I got to go by. I want you to tell me how this motherfucker is ahead of this other motherfucker. So
Just do no names. Just do the stats.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you which one I think should be.
I got you.
Right.
Let's see. Why is it like that? What the fuck? Okay, let's do. All right, so leading the way for the entire NFL in sacks, clearly, is Nick Bosa. This guy is sitting at 16. He has how many tackles for loss? Let's see if that's on here. It doesn't say. Let me go to the ESPN first. Let me see if I can get it on there. Because they probably have better defensive defensive stats. I was on NFL, so maybe that's why. Let's see. Teams, defensive leaders. Okay, here we go. So, we've got Nick Bosa at 17.5. The guy that I'm going to make a case for has 16. Let's see. The other guy. Okay. Where the fuck is he? The other guy's sitting at 13.
Okay.
Tackles for loss.
Yes.
Nick Bosa has 18.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, where is he?
You were struggling.
The guy I'm making a case against has 13.
Yes.
I don't know if I passed him.
Oh my God. You've never been more unprepared.
Okay, and the guy I'm making a case for has 11. So 16 sacks, 11 tackles for loss against 13 sacks and 13 tackles for loss. Okay?
Okay.
Turnovers. Let's see, interceptions. This is terrible. It's just a bunch of defensive backs. I'm not even going to worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, forced fumbles. Fuck. Come on, bro. I hate this. Okay. Forced fumbles. The guy I'm making the case for has 5. 3 recoveries. The guy I'm making the case against has 3 forced fumbles, 3 recoveries. So they both have 3 recoveries.
I mean, it sounds like your guy has
a better statistical profile, you think?
Stats, yes.
Okay.
If stats say everything, then yes.
Okay. Micah Parsons is the guy I'm making a case against. He's sitting at the second best odds for Defensive Player of the Year at plus 600.
Yes.
The guy I'm making a case for is sitting at, what is he, second in sacks overall?
Mm-hmm.
Second in sacks. Hassan Reddick. 1.5 sacks behind the leader.
Yeah.
Which has been the best defensive player in the entire NFL all year. Hassan Reddick is sitting at 16 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, 5 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and he also has 3 passes deflected. Whereas Micah Parsons has 3 passes deflected. So they're close.
Mm-hmm.
The sacks are
It is
way
very
off.
close.
But he's not getting any
Recognition. Yeah.
Nick has played 1 less game as well. He's played 15 to Hassan's 16. So there's that as well. I don't get why he's not in the top 5 at least.
No. I mean,
Do you understand? You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
if it's just sacks that we're talking about whenever we're talking about defensive player of the year, clearly Nick is leading. Hassan is on the league leading team in terms of sacks overall. He also is one of 4 players on the team to have 10 or more sacks. He's also the first Eagle with more than 10 sacks since like Brandon Graham in 2017. So like he's been the best defensive player we've had in a while.
Yeah.
In terms of sacks.
I was going to say, do DBs just not win it? But I mean, I guess they do, but it's not often.
Yeah.
But I mean, Gilmore won it at 19.
Right.
And then before that, it was Troy Polamalu in 2010.
Yeah. For perspective, by the way, Philadelphia is leading the league in sacks with 68. So I was 5 breaks the record, 4 ties it.
Okay.
Dallas is sitting at 51. So they have 17 more sacks than the team with the second leading candidate for defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
The 49ers aren't even in the top 5. So like I guess they're getting a lot more contribution from Nick, which makes even more of a case for him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're way the fuck down there. Holy shit. They're sitting at what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're 11th. 11th in sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick Bosa's leading them. To me, I'm okay with Nick Bosa winning it, obviously, just because he's leading it currently.
Yeah.
He's also been the most dominant defensive player in the NFL. If he breaks 20 sacks, I think it's a lock.
Yeah, for sure. It's got to be.
I want him to win it, but who I want to have recognition is Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Because you got guys like Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, Chris Jones, and Matt Judon. Like, they're all above him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it doesn't make sense. So what about you?
I'm with you. Parsons was my vote earlier.
Did you know anything that I told you about Hassan Reddick until
No.
you didn't know any of
I
that?
did not know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit 16 sacks. He had 2 last game.
Yeah.
They're the only team all year to have, first team in NFL history to have 5 games straight of 6 sacks, I think.
Damn.
6 sacks or more. 5 games. It's insane.
It is insane.
So,
but yeah, Nick Bosa is definitely going to win it. It seems like he has just stolen this award.
yeah.
I thought Parsons was a lock just a little bit ago
Mm-hmm.
until, Bosa did his thing.
Right.
And then past that, Judon was going to be there.
Yeah, he had led. He was up there with the leaders for a while,
Yeah.
but he's kind of
He's
trailed
fallen.
off a little bit.
Yeah. So really, it just comes down to them two. Maybe Parsons can have just an absolute incredible game. It could take this number 1 spot, but I think it's Bosa.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can move on. We got Offensive Player of the Year. I think this one is easy. Got the NFL receiving leader. Typically goes to that guy.
Yeah.
Got Justin Jefferson. Didn't he win it last year? Or was it? No, it was Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. It was
So
definitely
Cooper Kupp won it last year. Justin Jefferson is going to win it this time around. He's at minus 800.
Despite the amount of success a quarterback has in winning the league's MVP award, the Offensive Player of the Year has only seen 2 quarterbacks win in over the last 7 years.
Who was it? It doesn't even say.
It doesn't say. But
say.
that's weird. Like, I didn't. It makes sense. Like, they shouldn't just give every offensive award.
It's kind of
to
like a
quarterbacks.
co-MVP award. I think it was I think it may have been Brady. Like, Brady won it in
Maybe.
2016 or something.
It makes sense of something like that.
That would make sense.
Justin Jefferson leading.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
I want him to win it. I think he's going to win it.
His last week is the only argument against him.
He's had a couple, like he said, in terms of under like 50 yards, he's had like 1 or 2 games like that all year. Every other game he's had 150, 110, multiple touchdown games.
And then you got Tyreek Hill. If Tyreek Hill had a starting quarterback all year, he wins this award easy.
I think so. If he had 2 all year.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
He probably hits over 2,000 yards because he was on pace. He was on pace to break the record for a while.
And then
Mahomes, like, he's going to be the MVP, so.
Why is he even on this list? Jalen's on this list. Josh Allen's on this list. Then CMC.
That's crazy.
He
didn't even get the Pro Bowl. He didn't even make the Pro Bowl.
He's not going to win. He's going to get a vote on Offensive Player of the Year, not get a Pro Bowl, and not get a Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Makes no sense.
It's really weird. Then you got Travis Kelce. Makes sense.
Yep.
Probably not going to win it, obviously, because Justin's had a better year. A.J. Brown.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I think he's like top 5 in yards. He has double-digit touchdowns. Has completely changed his offense. Has had spectacular highlight plays all year. He could break 1,600. Imagine him going off for 200 against the Giants this game. It'd be fucking insane. He's broke his personal best both times this season. Like he hit 156 and then like 180 something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's had a great year. And then Saquon Barkley, comeback player of the year candidate. He definitely deserves to be in there.
Yeah.
He's had a couple like underwhelming weeks for the last several weeks, but he's been good all year. So
it just makes sense. It's probably going to be Justin. It should be Justin.
Yeah, he should. I mean, I don't really get the odds after that.
Mm.
Maybe Tyreek for sure second, but like Mahomes 3, I don't get that.
But then the NFL MVP,
Yeah.
the award everyone.
This is the only award I really give a shit about
Yeah.
in terms of like individual success because it's the most prestigious. People count these more than anything.
Number one, Mahomes.
Mahomes is leading the way.
He's going to win this award.
He would not be in this position where he's an overwhelming favorite if Jalen didn't get hurt.
Yes.
Because I still think that Jalen ends up he wins against the Cowboys, and then we wouldn't even be playing him against the Saints because we lock it up at that point.
Yeah. I wonder if Mahomes has a horrible game.
He already played.
He did already
play against the Raiders, which he didn't play great.
But I mean,
he played an average game for his standard.
Yes. I was going to say, I wonder if he plays horrible, and Joe Burrow, who is our second, if he balls out.
Here's the thing.
If he could win it. But it just can't.
Jarrett Stidham had more yards than him. They both had a touchdown. 1 pick for Stidham. Mahomes didn't have a pick. It was just like an average day. So Travis Kelce had 6 receptions, 38 yards. Like it was just like a bog standard run the football type game. Yeah. Because they had 28 rushes for 168 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's where they got their points. With this, here let's just go look at his stats because it's overwhelming. Like he obviously deserves it. Mm-hmm. Like let's look. He has over 5,000 yards. He had 41 touchdowns, 12 picks. Leads the league in passer rating. Probably leads the league in QBR.
Probably.
Let's just go look. Yeah. So he's first in yards, first in touchdowns, first in QBR at 77.9. Tied for 26 in picks, but like who gives a shit when you're this good? Mm-hmm. I'm older than this mother. Wait, no, I'm not. He's older than me? I didn't know that.
He's 28, isn't he?
He's 27.
Yeah, that does make
He was born in September of 97 or 95. I was born in December. So he's right there. Yeah. Fuck you, Patrick Mahomes. Gonna take that MVP trophy away from my guy. Because here's the thing.
He's gonna win it.
He is gonna win it.
Yeah.
Joe
Burrow's gonna be second.
Because here's the thing. Jalen's sitting at 22 touchdowns now.
What does he have to do to win the award?
Beat the Giants by 50. And every touchdown comes from him.
If he runs 5 touchdowns in, does he win MVP?
Runs 5? He would have to get 253 yards to hit 1,000 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Not happening. He would have to get 528 yards.
There's only one quarterback that could run for those yards.
Justin Fields.
And he's benched this week.
He is benched this week. He would need 528 yards to hit 4,000. He would need another 8 to hit 30 touchdowns.
So if he does all that, he's the MVP.
Imagine.
That'd be the coolest game of all time.
That would be the coolest game of all time. But, yeah, it's not happening. I just don't see it. He missed too many games. That fucking sucks, too. The same shit would happen with Wentz.
Yeah.
We won the Super Bowl without Wentz. I don't think we win a Super Bowl without Jalen Hurts. So,
I mean, you do have Gardner Minshew.
Do have Gardner Minshew. He's played like shit.
He has played like shit.
He's played like fucking shit.
So Joe Burrow, though.
Joe Burrow has a very good shot.
4,260 yards. He's 5th in the NFL. 34 touchdowns. He's 2nd.
Okay.
12 interceptions. He's 26.
Does he throw 7 touchdowns?
61.2.
He would match Mahomes in touchdowns.
With one less game.
With one less game. I don't see it.
I don't either. There's just no way.
It'd be fucking insane. I hope it happens, but I'm not even a big Mahomes hater. Like, it's just
I
like,
love
come on,
Mahomes.
man.
I love
He's
Mahomes.
too fucking good.
Yeah. Kermit the Frog's
he
awesome.
deserves a fucking award. Do what?
I said Kermit the Frog's awesome.
Yeah.
He's great.
He loves ketchup. Big ketchup guy.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I don't like him.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like they're getting it right for the most part. Only a couple things they've really messed up on.
If we're talking about value, by the way,
Oh.
take Mahomes off the Chiefs. They're fucking horrible. They're not even good.
Yeah. Take Burrow.
Take Burrow off the Bengals. They are
Bad.
picking first in the NFL draft.
Take
Jalen Hurts off the Eagles. Gardner Minshew
They win
looks okay.
3-4 games? 5 maybe?
No. 4 games?
I don't. You did have the easiest schedule. You did lose to the Saints, is why I'm saying so low. You have a better record than the Commanders.
I'm thinking of the games that he could have won that we ended up winning. Like, could he have beat Houston when they were playing that well?
Maybe not that week.
Probably not that week. Man, I still think that we're probably the worst team in the division at that point.
Maybe better than the Commanders.
Maybe.
You're right there with the Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles roster is the best of those 3 teams that we just talked about. Take Josh Allen off the Bills. What do?
Who's their backup?
I don't even fucking know.
No, if I knew their backup.
I'm looking.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I knew their backup, maybe I could tell you, but like I don't even know who that guy is.
It's going to be someone bad. Watch it be Case Keenum. Watch it be someone bad.
Dude, I love Case Keenum is just every team's backup. It's Case Keenum.
I fucking guessed it. Holy
Case
shit.
Keenum.
It's Case Keenum, and then you got Matt Barkley. I fucking guessed it. That's insane.
They win
Case Keenum is a backup.
5 games.
5 games. I mean, Case was able to win. What did they? They ended up 13-3 that season.
They ain't going 13-3 with Case Keenum. I'm telling you right now.
You want to know how that happened? Sam Bradford got hurt in the preseason.
Case Keenum is Case Keenum the one, the Minneapolis Miracle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
because
so.
it was 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, he's literally
Stephon Diggs is there. Yeah.
He's part of my favorite, like top 5 favorite plays in history of the NFL. So
yeah.
I mean, shout out to Case Keenum, I guess.
Case Keenum. I think he could win a couple games with the Bills.
Yeah, that's what I said.
This Bills roster was good.
5 to 7.
They can't run the ball for shit, though.
You don't need to when you have Case Keenum back there.
That's true. And then you got Matt Barkley.
And then you got Justin Jefferson.
Oh, God.
The team might be poverty.
No, because they still got Adam Thielen. I think he's good. They got T.J. Hawkinson, who's a pretty good tight end.
So, yeah, they draft first.
Dalvin Cook. Are they the worst team in the NFC? No. No, because I think they're better than y'all still.
No, come on. We would have ran for.
Okay, they lose Justin Jefferson, but they get Diggs back.
Oh, then they're fine.
Good. They're fine.
They're fine.
Nah.
They lose Justin Jefferson. I mean, they're a bad team.
They have to go with someone that isn't Kirk Cousins.
I love Kirk's
I
mentality
think Kirk's
lately.
pretty good.
He's been fine. He used to spread the ball out. Now he's just saying, fuck it.
You know who's one of the best teams without their starting quarterback?
The 49ers.
The Dallas Cowboys. Because they were without their starter, and then Philly derailed their shit.
Yeah, but
there was a lot of talk about how Dak
49ers
Prescott isn't even as good as Cooper Rush.
49ers are easily the best without their starter.
True.
They have
Brock Purdy's better than their starter, so is it really?
That's arguable because we don't know Trey Lance. He's
Do
definitely.
you think he gets a legitimate shot?
He's better than. I don't know what they do now.
I don't either. It's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Mahomes wins the MVP. Fuck you. He
Yeah.
doesn't. He's not better than Jalen Hurts this season. I'll stick to that.
Are we ready for our last call?
I guess so.
All right. So our last call is gonna be a little different this week. We're gonna do a New Year's resolution. So pretty much what we want to see out of our favorite teams, and maybe some other teams that
we'll bring up our favorite teams in terms of the NBA and the
NFL and what we want to see from them this new year.
Yeah, and then we'll also talk about like who we both like, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we're a big LeBron fan.
Yeah.
So
mine's very easy for the Bears.
Oh yeah, get Will Anderson.
Well, not even. There's a big rumor. I don't know if you've heard this because I'd be sticking with the Bears stuff.
Okay.
There's a big name wide receiver that wants out, and there are two teams that are apparently the top teams for him. The Bears are number 1. The Steelers are number 2.
Let me guess.
Well, hold on. I just wanted to pitch this. I won't say the name.
Okay.
Think of year 2 quarterbacks who went into their third year, got a receiver, and stepped up. You think of Josh Allen.
You
think of
Jalen
Jalen.
Hurts. That's pretty much it.
Well, you have Trevor Lawrence, who is going to be getting his Calvin Ridley.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god.
They signed.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's what you do on a quarterback.
Are you talking about Devontae Adams?
No, but that one would be sick. It is of that caliber.
Is it DeAndre Hopkins?
It's D-Hop.
Is it really?
Rumors are D-Hop wants out. The Bears are a big name for him.
What would you give up for him?
Everything.
Everything?
All of it. I'd give it all.
Okay.
Realistically.
You have to give up. Okay, so you trade swap?
I would trade swap first round picks.
Would you really?
For D-Hop? Yeah, absolutely.
You would trade swap from the number 1 overall pick for whatever the Cardinals have.
Yeah. They still don't have a great pick, so like it's still fine.
Yeah, but that's like dropping back 5-6 spots. Along with what? What else? You have to give up Chase Claypool.
Cool.
Would you take Kyler over Justin Fields right now? Given the injury as well.
Kyler is better. Like, let's not. Oh.
Well, with the injury too.
Fuck yes, I would do that trade. They draft 4th.
Oh, okay. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, because you still have a shot to get Will Anderson.
Yeah.
But no, because then the Cardinals would take Will Anderson. You're giving up Will Anderson for.
So
you
right
do
now,
get D-Hop, though.
Yes, it's so worth it. The mock draft right now is Texans are going to take Bryce Young at 1.
Okay.
The Bears are at 2, and they're going to take Jalen Carter.
Seattle. I don't see that.
It's so weird. I don't see Seattle at 3 is going to take Will Anderson.
Okay.
And the Cardinals at 4 are going to take Miles Murphy. Clemson.
I do like Miles Murphy a lot.
Yeah, so like, cool. If that's exactly. And
I don't think he's the 4th best, though.
The 5th is. And I know we're not supposed to be talking about other teams, but the 5th is the Colts taking C.J. Stroud. Holy shit, I love that.
Ah, God, they have Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce. Ooh, I think you would flip that shit around real quick.
Yeah. All right, but so my New Year's resolution is
get D-Hop.
Get a big name receiver.
Get D-Hop.
Get D-Hop.
Do you think that the Devontae Adams will come back to the North? Like if he's out of there because Derek is?
That'd be sick.
Man, that'd be fucking crazy.
And then there is a stat of like the team that spends the most money in the offseason, the bare minimum, they win 3 more games than last year.
Yeah, because look at Jacksonville. They fucking put all their cap on this year.
But that's just how it works. So
they'll have
that's
over $120 million, though.
Just spend it all. Spend all of the money.
The receiver y'all bring in, renegotiate the deal, sign him to a long-term deal.
Yes.
I think you should try to go for like one of those younger guys, though.
I mean, that's fine, but if it's D-Hop, take D-Hop.
But who's sitting there? My thing is like, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are going into year 3. They'll have their 5th-year option that following year. Can you try to trade to get someone like T. Higgins?
I mean, that'd be sick.
That'd be a great, because, I mean, they still have Tyler Boyd. I think they could get it done with Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. Brenden Ayuk, he's going to be coming up. Could you not get him?
Maybe.
I mean, he's like a Tyreek Hill, like, gadget type player. I'm just thinking of, like, y'all's situation.
Yeah.
The assets you do have and the way you could go and get someone crazy.
Yeah. But that's how I'm looking at it. Right now, my New Year's resolution for the Bears is spend money in the offseason, get a top name receiver, don't fuck up the draft. That's
fuck up the draft.
My 3 things.
There's no way to fuck the draft up. Unless you take a quarterback.
You'd be surprised.
I don't think it would be the worst thing to take a quarterback because Justin's been hurt and it'd just be a wasted opportunity.
Justin is so good.
Maybe you could trade Justin Fields and get some assets from that. But like,
do not do it.
I don't think you should do that.
Yeah. Kind of my backup team, the team that I root for so much is the Jets.
Yeah.
If we're going to stick with the NFL.
Okay.
Go get Derek Carr.
Jimmy G?
No.
Are you talking about like any veteran quarterback or?
No, I'm talking about Derek Carr.
Derek Carr and
get Derek Carr.
Okay.
Someone pulled up the statistics. If Derek Carr had the exact season that he had this year, his down year, pretty bad, you put him on the Jets, that is the best quarterback year ever for the Jets.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah. Even with this bad of a year.
Worst case scenario.
And then you put him with the best defense he's ever had. Put Derek Carr on this team. The Jets are very, very legit.
I know this isn't a part of the discourse right now, but I want to know what you think.
Okay.
There's one quarterback that isn't really on the radar to be like a trade asset or like be in the market, but I could see him wanting out if they don't fucking succeed, like in the playoffs.
Who?
Dak Prescott.
I don't think Dak's gonna leave
because, to me, Jerry, I feel like there's been some turmoil there. There's been a little bit more criticism, and if he can't win with Dallas, then what makes you think he couldn't win with a better roster, a younger roster?
If he goes to the Jets are scary.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine Dak being like on the fucking. Like, imagine him being like, "Fuck this place. It's been nothing but bullshit since I've been here."
Mm-hmm.
Like, we lose in the first round to Tampa Bay back to back. Like,
screw y'all. I'm out.
I'm out of here.
Honestly.
That'd be cool. I think it'd shake up the NFC a lot because Dak is one of the top 5 NFC quarterbacks, obviously.
Yeah. Going to the Jets.
But I do like that idea. Derek Carr going to the Jets.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. So.
New Year's resolution for the Eagles.
Yeah. Let me talk a little about the Eagles. We need to prioritize keeping some of this young talent we brought in through trade.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was gonna say re-signing in general is what I would assume.
Of re-signing players and maybe getting Jalen on a smaller figure for an early contract extension. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be going into his final year next year. Maybe work the cap, Howie, do your thing. The guys I would love to bring back, no matter what. I'm iffy on this guy, Javon Hargrave. He's been great, but I think we could work it if we're able to get someone like Jalen Carter, like even Miles Murphy at 11, because we're currently slotted at 11, I think.
10th as a
10th. Who do we have on there?
CBS. This is CBS Sports. Right now it's 10th. You are taking a offensive tackle from Ohio State. Okay. Paris Johnson Jr.
Paris Johnson. Okay, I like that because Lane getting older, potentially could be a retirement candidate. 2-time Super Bowl champion.
And Jason
Kelce too.
Also,
Cam Jurgens being the backup there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of free money there for retirements, possibly. Mm-hmm. I'd love to re-sign Javon Hargrave. Got to re-sign James Bradbury at least one more year. Got to try. At least throw it out there. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I think to this point, the free agent market for running back is going to be pretty crazy, but Miles Sanders needs to be back.
Yeah. Maybe
extend Devontae Smith a year early. Get him in the mix for a while. Who else is on the? There's a lot of guys. Jason Kelce, try to get him to come back because he's been great. Fletcher Cox maybe you move on. I don't know. Kazir White and T.J. Edwards, they're both free agents. Not Avonte Maddox. I'm trying to think of everybody. I just want to get it all out there. Basically, just re-sign as many of these guys as you can.
Yeah.
Try to run it back like Tampa did last season whenever they won Super Bowl the year previous. These guys are of that caliber, so I kind of want to keep them. As for another NFL team that I want to practice some sort of resolution, if the Lions don't make the playoffs this year, just run it back. Run it back, and you have a top 10 pick. Go get a fucking defensive stud and keep working on your offensive line, and I think you're going to make it. You've lost a lot of close games this year. A lot of injury was, a potential reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I don't think they need to move on from Jared Goff. I think they're good where they're at. So that's what I would do for the Lions.
Okay.
But, I don't know. I've been staying in the Lions all year. I feel like I need to throw something out there for them.
That's why I felt like I had to do something for the Jets.
Yeah, you've been a big Jets fan for a while.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that they could probably just stick with what they've got and still be a potential playoff team next year. Mm-hmm. Just because they lost games where they didn't have their guys. Like, they didn't have DeAndre Swift or even DJ Chark, who's been in and out of the lineup a lot.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's fucking really good. And then you got Jameson Williams. He's finally back and looking okay. So, get these guys healthy going into next season. They're going to be fucking great. Mm-hmm. Maybe top 3 in offense again. So, but I guess I'll talk about the Sixers too.
Okay. And then I'll get to the Bulls.
Man, they've been so inconsistent.
Health, maybe.
I don't even know what to do for a resolution for them. Maybe get themselves back to full 100% and see what you could possibly get for James Harden. Because he's still really good, but I don't think he fits the team very well. Maybe you need to go out and get an all-star guard sort of thing. Imagine Lillard on that team instead of James. I think Damian would be way better in that system. He'd probably fit the team better.
Yeah.
I don't
Dame's
know.
not leaving,
There's really not a whole lot that I can think of for that team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. They play in a very tough conference. The East has been good for a while, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my only thing. Get healthy.
Yeah. Bulls, New Year's resolution is make the players happy.
Yeah.
If they don't want to be there, trade them.
Exactly.
Get someone who wants to play for Chicago. They're the 9th seed right now. They're 2 games behind the 8th. So
they're in the play-in.
We're right there.
Yeah.
Even with a pretty bad season, we're right there. Zach's playing better again. DeMar's playing better. But, if they don't want to be there,
trade them.
Move on.
Yep.
And then vice versa. If they want to be there, help them.
Who doesn't want to be there right now?
It's pretty much just because they were the top 5 teams last year, and now they're falling to the 9th in the East. I think that there's just
something there.
There's the problem of, I think some of these players are saying if we're not a playoff, I came here to be a playoff contender, not this, not playing in the play-ins. So I think that the Bulls just need to just make their players happy. And then my backup team, the team that I've been rooting for, crazy, is the Cavs.
The Cavs.
And the Cavs is just, if you have a poor playoff run this year, don't freak out. You are all
they're
very
so young.
Just
Donovan fucking Mitchell, man.
He's that guy.
Didn't he have 70?
71.
70 fucking 1 points.
Yeah, better than Booker.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
He's so good. If I had to pick a team as my backup, I think we know where I'm going. The Lakers.
Yeah.
Talk about fucking unhealthy team. LeBron has not stayed healthy. Anthony Davis, my God. It seems like it's been every fucking year of his career.
He's not healthy. He's
I
not
don't
a healthy
get it,
player.
man. I don't get
Westbrook is looking like 6th man of the year. So people can shut the fuck up about hating on him.
Yeah, I never thought he was this bad. Whenever he was a starter, he just doesn't fit that lineup, I guess.
Yeah.
He could definitely be he could be a 6th man of the year.
I hated on him for a little bit, but then I realized.
I wasn't nearly as bad as fucking Anthony, I don't think.
He's still hating.
He still is hating. I was pretty bad on him, though. Like he was turning the ball over in like ridiculous.
He hit the top of the backboard more than anyone I've ever seen.
I don't know. He doesn't do it anymore.
I don't know what was going on.
I don't know what it is.
But yeah, that's been our New Year's resolution for our teams, and that's been another episode of Totally Not Biased.
Episode 16. We'll see y'all next week. Catch you up on the next round of the wildcard round of the playoffs. We'll have a review for that. So,
yep.
See y'all later.
See you.